And you can look that up in your songbook. No, thank you. Not what I chant. It's definitely doesn't work. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Toma bina kedaya jagat samsare Toma Toma bina kedaya jagat samsare Pachita pavana hetu Tavavatara Mosama Pati Tam Prabhu Napaive Hakha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Hakha Prabhu Nityananda Kripa Balakan Hakko Ami Baro Tuke Noya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gasakai Noya Koro Sita Tava Kripa Molit Chaitanya Nityakai Hakha Sarup Sanna Tana Ruparaganakas Matanchungachi Jiva Rapuloka Nagakas Daya Korosia Jaya Prabhu Srinivakas Ramachandra Sang Gamage Narottama Dakas Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Noya Koro More Toma Pinake Dayana Jagat Samsara Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, Hachibol, Haribol, Haribol. Nichai Gaur, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Haribo Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnu Pad. Paramahansa Paravrikacharya, also Teta Satishi Shima, His Divine ISKCON, founder of Anantakoti, Vaishnava, Brahmagajai, Namacharya, Shidarita, Thakur, Prem Se, Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Sayam Kun Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Maturanam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Srimati Lasadevi Ki Jai Sampeda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the assembled devotees, all glory is the Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Budale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bhajarani Nivashesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatari. That just shows that I'm streaming online. All right, let me check. Just pictures of me. All right. So, today is the celebration of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance day. And so let us read this translation of a poem by Narottam Das Thakur first, and then we'll be speaking about Lord Chaitanya. So, my dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned souls, fallen souls. But I assure you, you will not find a more fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be kind to me. If you are kind to me, naturally, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. I pray for the mercy of Sarup Damodar, the six Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Bhatta Raghunath Goswami, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Raghunath Das Goswami, and Lokanath Prabhu. I, Narottam Das, pray to the merciful Srinivasacharya, and I always desire the company of Ramachandra. So what I thought we'd do this morning, actually I changed my plans, because after yesterday I felt intense need to connect more with Prabhupada today. Anyway, I'm not going to explain that. So I thought we'd read from two of the chapters, and I'll, of course, make comments as we're reading through two of the chapters of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this, of course, is chapter 3 and chapter 4 of the Adi Leela, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And these chapters delineate the reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Last Sunday, I sort of touched upon that topic, amongst other topics. but I wanted to delve deeply, or more deeply, into those topics, the exoteric purpose and the esoteric purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent. And I wanted to simultaneously connect with Srila Prabhupada and have Prabhupada explain this through the words of the Acharyas and through the words of Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. So we're going to start with chapter 3. So, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Repeat. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So, of course, we're reading again, for those who just joined us, from chapter 3 of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which deals with one of the two reasons that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. And I mentioned before, there's the exoteric and the esoteric reason. The exoteric means something that's apparent to everybody. And, of course, to summarize that exoteric purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namnai Gauradase Namah. His most munificent manifestation of compassion, saving the most fallen conditioned souls. And not only saving the most fallen conditioned souls, but giving them the highest aspect of bhakti. Freely. The highest aspect of bhakti, freely. Of course, freely means, I guess I didn't want to launch into a lecture, but anyway, so I'll do it. Freely means you got to do something. Just like I was questioned the other day, one devotee is having some spiritual trouble, and this devotee said, "You gave me blessings to become Krishna conscious. Why am I having spiritual trouble? Is it that your blessings do not work?" You know, this is a typical thing. We want free blessings. You know, just like, okay, just sit back, like one of the rides at Disney World. You paid your ticket, you know, just get on and you just see whatever you're going to say. No, it's not like that. That you have to comply. It's a contract. That we have a contract with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have a contract with His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. We have a contract with the disciplic succession. If we fulfill our side of the contract, and that's not just an external side of the contract, there has to be internal cultivation, external cultivation, following the order of Lord Chaitanya and his representatives, then, yes, the blessing is there. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told us how to get his blessings through the instructions of his primary disciples, the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan. That's why we are called Rupanugas. We're followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but generally I had not heard devotees called Chaitanya Nugas. We're called Rupanugas because Rupa Goswami has very elaborately described what he learned from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this description Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions to Rupa Goswami, they're given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in brief. We can assume there was a lot more instructions to Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. So Rupa Goswami has given us specific directions in devotional service, both in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and his, for more advanced devotees, the Ujjvala Nilamani. And these instructions by Srila Rupa Goswami, beginning, with accepting the shelter of the spiritual master, inquiring submissively how to advance in devotional service, etc., they're directly from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we shouldn't distinguish and think, oh, these are the instructions of Rupa Goswami. Yes, they are. But they actually are coming. They're exactly what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami. He wouldn't come up with his own philosophy. And Sanatana Goswami didn't come up with his own. Neither did any of the other Goswamis of Vrindavan, or the bona fide representatives of our disciplic succession. They don't come up with a different process, a sambandha, abhideya, or prayojana. Different, because sambandha is not process. Sambandha is the understanding of the ontological position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ontological position of the material energy, the spiritual energy, the jiva souls, and their relationship between all these different aspects, either of the Lord or the Lord's energies. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Shitra Yakyadata Para Avijikarma Soganya Jatira Shakti Ishate. So, anyways, that's Sambandha, and then Abhideya, of course, means the practice as elaborated in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And then ultimately the prayojana, the goal of Krishna consciousness. So anyway, so that's how we connect with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's not like sometimes we have these groups that just chant Nitai, Nitai, or do other things like that. But we connect through strictly following the parampara. And of course, in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we connect by strictly following the directions of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada and be chaste to his mission, the mission of Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, I'm going to start with that anyway. Just Krishna inspired me. So now we're going to talk about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's external purposes or exoteric purpose, and as revealed to us by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami through the lips of His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. And when Srila Prabhupada gives us Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, it actually becomes sweeter. Just like we have Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami is sometimes called Shukadev Goswami. And there's another reason too. But he's called Shukadev Goswami because if a parrot pecks some fruit, it actually ripens in that spot and actually ripens the fruit faster. So Srila Prabhupada's words, I mean, it's actually interesting that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that in the future many people will learn Bengali to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that's actually true. But I'm actually thinking, not in opposition to what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, that reading from Srila Prabhupada, connecting to Srila Prabhupada in this way actually makes the both the Bengali and the English sweeter, and the translation and the understanding sweeter. Because I know that I would not have any ability to understand anything in the Chaitanya Charitamrita if it hadn't been for Srila Prabhupada's words. eternally grateful to Prabhupada. Prabhupada has won my eternal servitude. So, okay. So, let's read from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I'll read the introductory verse for this chapter. The next chapter, I won't read the introductory verse because they're pretty much similar. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet. Even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth from the minds of revealed scriptures. And then all glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Vaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of the Lord. I have given the purport of the third verse. Now, O devotees, please listen to the meaning of the fourth with full attention. And I'm not reading the Bengali. And this is a famous verse written by Srila Rupa Goswami. I mean, maybe I should read the Bengali because it's actually extremely famous verse. Anarpita charim chirat kurunal vatirna kalo samarapayitum unatol jwala rasam svabhakti sriyam hari purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipita sadariya kandare spurato vach sachinandana. So this verse summarizes the exoteric purpose of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's appearance. Just listen carefully. Actually, I should read the word-by-word synonyms because this is really a nutshell verse for this particular chapter. Anarpita means not bestowed. In other words, it wasn't bestowed before. Charim, having been formerly not bestowed. Chirat, for a long time. How long? Previous day of Lord Brahma. That's when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, once in a day of Lord Brahma. Or perhaps some other avatar, but anyway. This is when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears once in a day of Lord Brahma after Lord Krishna appears. Kuruniya, by causeless mercy, avatirna, to descend, cross down, kalo, in the age of Kali, samarprayutum, to bestow, unnata, elevated, ujjvala rasam. So ujjvala means conjugal love, rasam, the taste of conjugal love, or as Prabhupada translates it here, conjugal mellow. Mellow means taste. The taste of understanding the intimate relationship between Radha and Krishna. Swa bhakti, of his own service. In other words, by his example, he's showing us how to enter. Like Prabhupada said, like a teacher sometime will appear to what? Be learning a particular subject matter. Teacher will go up to the class and says, how much is what? 2 and 2. Now the teacher knows. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, according to Srila Prabhupada, acted as a person who wasn't Krishna conscious in the beginning, right? Before he took initiation. Very interesting. And actually we see in the case of many of the acharyas, I was just talking to the devotees about Bhaktivedanta Thakur, his life before, he actually was, well, anyway, there's some meat eating before. He admits that in his autobiography. So this is an example for us. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only showed the example of not manifesting his mission and even challenging the devotees before he took initiation, that even he showed his dedication after taking initiation to his spiritual master, Shri Shwarapuri, in the statements he made when he was preaching to Prakashananda Saraswati, right? He said, what? My spiritual master, what? Does anyone remember? Called me a fool. Because they were accusing him, you're just dancing and chanting. Of course, that's Lord Chaitanya's mission. Yeah. Dinahina yata chilo harinamudrilo. And that's the Yuga Dharma. You're just dancing and chanting. You're not doing what sannyasis are supposed to do. What are sannyasis? They're supposed to just sit and dryly speculate all day long. That's our business. Yeah, it wouldn't take sannyas if that was what we're supposed to do. And Lord Chaitanya said, my spiritual master called me a fool. You can't understand Vedanta. Just chant Hare Krishna. So with that statement, he shows the point that, like Prabhupada said, deserve then desire. You know, I'm just directly taking on that understanding from there, that one follows the order of the spiritual master, then Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Yenamam Upayanti. You know, basically Bhagavad Gita, right? Tesham, unto those, Satadiyuktanam, who are connected, and Bhajatam, Priti Purvakam. Then Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam, Yenamam Upayanti Te. Then Krishna reveals these things. Bhaktimam. And that's bhakti, that's love. Not through simple study. So, anyway, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that by his example, how one can become a devotee of the Lord. Okay. Swabhakti, of his own service, I translated that, or read that. Shriyam, the treasure. Hari, the Supreme Lord. Purita, then gold. But Purita Sundara means, Sundara of course means very beautiful. So Purita Sundara means it's more beautiful, more attractive than gold. And of course, in India, that's particularly a very important metaphor, because in India, gold, India I think is the largest consumer of gold in the world. And actually, because of that, if you go into certain airports in India, they search you to see if you're bringing any gold into the country. So, Purata Sundara, beauty, the splendor that's more beautiful than gold, the pure devotional service that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching by his example. Kadamba. Actually, it's interesting. Kadamba here is translated by Prabhupada with a multitude. I guess that's it. In relationship with a kadamba tree, where you see a multitude of what? Flower, not exactly flowers, but you know, it's like eruptions. You know, sometimes the kadamba tree is compared to Srimati Radharani, and the ecstatic eruptions that a pure devotee has on his body. And sometimes these eruptions are bleeding. So kadamba, multitude, a sandeep pita, illuminated sada, always. This is a beautiful verse. This verse actually describes all of Lord Chaitanya's reasons for coming, at least the exoteric. Ridya, and also the esoteric too, simultaneously. We should meditate on this verse today. Ridya Kandare, in the cavity of the heart. Hridayeshu Lokyanti Yam Shaim Mashundara Chincha Guna Swarupam Govindam Haripurasham Tamaham. And then, this is a prayer. Spura tu, Let him be manifest. In other words, Sraradya Gandhare Spuratu. Let Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu be manifest in the cavity or the core of your heart. Of course, Va means your, and Sachinandana, the son of Mother Sachi. Isn't it a beautiful verse? Amazing verse. I mean, I wish I knew more Bengali so I could actually appreciate it more. So the translation Prabhupada gives is so beautiful. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. He has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. To try to understand that. So let's read Prabhupada's purport. It's very short purport. And it's, Prabhupada just says, this is a quotation from the Vidagdha Madhava 1-2, a drama compiled and edited by Srila Rupa Goswami. And if I remember correctly, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, Lord Chaitanya asked, or Swarup Damodar Goswami asked, what is your worshipful deity? And then he read this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became upset because of his glorification of himself. And I forget the exact words. Maybe Daivir Prabhu remembers the exact words. He said like bitter nimber fruit or something like that. It's there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So let's continue to read. Purna Bhagavan Krishna Prajendra Kumar Goloke Brajera Saha Nitya Vihar. Lord Krishna, the son of the king of Braja, is the supreme Lord. He eternally enjoys transcendental pleasure in his eternal abode, Goloka, which includes Brajadam. So I read Prabhupada's purport. In the previous chapter, it has been established that Krishna, the son of Brajendra, the king of Braj, is the supreme personality of Godhead with 6 opulences. He eternally enjoys transcendental variegated opulences on his planet, which is known as Goloka. The eternal pastimes of the Lord in the spiritual planet Krishna Loka are called aprakata, or unmanifest pastimes, because they are beyond the purview of the conditioned souls. Lord Krishna is always present everywhere, but when he is not present before our eyes, he is said to be aprakata, or unmanifest. So once in a day, I'm not going to read all the Bengali, once in a day of Brahma, he descends to this world to manifest his transcendental pastimes. We know that there are 4 ages, yugas, namely Satya, Treta, Dwarpa, and Kali. These 4 together constitute one Divya Yuga. 71 Divya Yugas constitute one Manvantara. There are 14 Manvantaras in one day of Brahma. I'm not going to read the purport because I want to get to the point about Lord Chaitanya. Let's go ahead a little bit. Okay, yeah. So we're going to the, text 11. A servitude, so this is servitude, dasha, friendship, sakya, parental affection, vatsalya, and conjugal love, shringara, are the 4 transcendental mellows, rasas. But by the devotees who cherish these 4 mellows, Lord Krishna is subdued. And of course, that's one of the qualities of pure devotional service, the only means of controlling Krishna. So in the purport, Prabhupada says Dasha, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Shringara, which is the conjugal ras, are the transcendental modes of loving service to the Lord. Shanta ras, or the neutral stage, is not mentioned in this verse because although in Shanta ras one considers the absolute truth, the sublime great, one does not go beyond that conception. Shanta ras is a very grand idea for materialistic philosophers, but such idealistic appreciation is only the beginning. It is the lowest among the relationships in the spiritual world. Shanta ras is not given much importance because as soon as there is slight understanding between the knower and the known, active, loving, transcendental reciprocations and exchanges begin. Dasha ras is the basic relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Therefore, this verse considers Dasha the first stage of transcendental devotional service. Absorbed in such transcendental love, Lord Krishna enjoys in Braj with his devoted servants, friends, parents, and conjugal lovers. I'm going to skip to more Lord Chaitanya's. So Lord Krishna enjoys his transcendental pastimes as long as he wishes, and then disappears. After disappearing, however, he thinks thus: for a long time I have not bestowed unalloyed loving service to me upon the inhabitants of this world. Without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless. Everywhere in the world, people worship me according to scriptural injunctions, but simply by following such regulative principles, one cannot attain loving sentiments of the devotees in Brajabhumi. Knowing my opulences, the whole world looks upon me with awe and veneration, but devotion made feeble by such reverence does not attract me. Okay. So after his appearance, Lord Krishna thought that he had not distributed the transcendental personal dealings with his devotees in Dasha, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. One may understand the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the Vedic literatures, and thus become a devotee of the Lord and worship him within the regulated principles described in the scriptures, but one will not know in this way how Krishna is served by the residents of Brajabhumi. That doesn't mean that one rejects the regulated principles in the scriptures, but one follows them, but internally cultivates the mood taught by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One cannot understand the dealings of the Lord in Vrindavan simply by executing the ritualistic regulated principles mentioned in the scriptures. By following scriptural injunctions, one may enhance his appreciation for the glories of the Lord, but there is no chance for one to enter into personal dealings with him. Giving too much attention to understanding the exalted glories of the Lord reduces the chance of one's entering into personal loving affairs with the Lord. To teach the principles of loving dealings, the Lord decided to appear as Lord Chaitanya. By performing such regulated devotional service in awe and veneration, one may go to Vaikuntha and attain the 4 kinds of liberation. These liberations are Sharshti, achieving opulences equal to the Lord; Sarupya, having a form the same as the Lord's; Samipya, living as a personal associate of the Lord; and Salokya, living on a Vaikuntha planet. Devotees never accept Sayuja, however, since that is oneness with Brahman. I'm going to skip the purport. I shall personally inaugurate the religion of this age, Nama Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy, realizing the 4 mellows of loving devotional service. I shall accept the role of a devotee, and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. So, I'd love to read the purport, but there's not much time, and I want to get to the next chapter, part of the next chapter. And at the end of the purport, Prabhupada says, to teach the highest principles of spiritual life, the Lord himself appeared as a devotee in the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unless one practices devotional service himself, he cannot teach it to others. This conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and the Bhagavatam. And of course, there's the quote from the Bhagavad Gita, whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion. At that time I descend myself. And then the next verse, to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. If I did not show the proper principles of religion, all these worlds would fall into ruin. I would be the cause of unwanted population and would spoil all these living beings. And then yad yad acharti tas. So whatever action a great man performs, common people follow. These are all Bhagavad Gita verses. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. So my plenary portions can establish the principles of religion for each age. No one but me, however, can bestow the kind of loving service performed by the residents of Braja. So, because the time is short, I should go to the next chapter, which talks about the confidential reasons of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So then, of course, there's the introductory verses. So continuing from verse 5 of chapter 4 of the Adi Lila, I've given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. This incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. Although this is true, this is but the external reason for the Lord's incarnation. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. Of course, we're going to go on here how the Lord takes the mood of Srimati Radharani, and taking the mood of Srimati Radharani, he actually, even though this is his internal reason, to appreciate Radharani's love for him, to see himself from Radharani's perspective, to enjoy from Radharani's perspective, but still that internal reason leads to the external reason, because when he takes the mood of Srimati Radharani, and Radharani is the most merciful, he becomes more merciful than he is in the Bhagavad Gita, which is Sarvadhamam Prajaja Mamekam Sharanam Prajat, demanding absolute surrender. Then it's Dinahina Yata Chilo Haridu Nam Udarila, ready to distribute love of God freely to everyone. Please hear one other reason, the confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. In the third chapter, fourth verse, it's clearly said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to distribute love of Krishna and the chanting of his transcendental holy name, Hare Krishna. This was the secondary purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. The real reason is different, as we see in this chapter. So secondary purpose doesn't mean it's unimportant. Because if you follow Lord Chaitanya's instructions in the secondary purpose, you'll achieve the primary purpose. You can't disconnect them. You can't say, I just want to relish the conjugal love of Godhead and not go on Sankirtan. Isn't it Harinam Sankirtan? You have to do both. It's like we're having Rath Yatra. So Rath Yatra, of course, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attended Rath Yatra, and while he was attending Rath Yatra, he was experiencing the most intimate primary purpose here, loving exchanges with Radharani, in the mood of Radharani, with Krishna, dragging Krishna back to Vrindavan from Kurukshetra. At the same time, you see the Rath Yatra actually illustrates both purposes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent. Because at the same time, Lord Jagannath comes out, and all the public can approach Lord Jagannath, and all the public can hear the kirtan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this Saturday, we're going to be doing Rath Yatra. So this is the best way to celebrate Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. And then when we enter into the Rath Yatra ceremony, which is both the esoteric and exoteric purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent, then we can connect with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, let's read the next text. The scriptures proclaim the Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. To take away this burden, however, is not the work of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The maintainer, Lord Vishnu, is the one who protects the universe. In other words, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's expansions and energies can take care of everything else, including teaching people about Dharma. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees too. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation. I'm going to skip over some here. When the complete Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, all other incarnations of the Lord meet together with him. And here's the description, all the Yuga avatars and etc. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna kills the demons through Lord Vishnu. As we know, the killing of the demons is done through Krishna's expansion. Rajendra, Nandana does not kill the demons. It's Krishna's expansion that kills the demons. So the Lord's desire to appear was born for two reasons. The Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence. In other words, Krishna wanted to appear, this is internal, his personal reasons, the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God, and he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world, two purposes, on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Thus he is known as the supremely jubilant and most merciful. I'm skipping over some of the purport here. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. If one regards me as the Supreme Lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with him. That is my natural behavior. In whatever way my devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. This is, of course, Bhagavad Gita. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as a son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great, and considering me as his equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. It probably gives an elaborate purport here. So let me skip ahead to the chapter. Taking these pure devotees with me, I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways, unknown even in Vaikuntha. I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed. By the influence of Yogamaya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. That's, of course, Krishna's incarnations. Anyway, let me skip ahead to the purposes. All right. So just as these desires, we're in text 37, are the fundamental reason for Lord Krishna's appearance, whereas destroying the demons is only an incidental necessity, so for Sri Krishna Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, promulgating the Dharma of the age is incidental. When the Lord desired to appear for another reason, the time for promulgating the religion of the age also arose. Thus, with two intentions, the Lord appeared with his devotees and tasted the nectar of prema with the conjugal chanting of the holy name of the Lord. In this way, assuming the sentiment of a devotee, he preached devotional service while practicing it himself. I'm skipping ahead here. Actually, this purport, I'm going to end with this purport because this is a very important purport. Let's see. So, Swarup Damodar Goswami, as in the middle of the purport, has described Lord Chaitanya as Krishna himself with the attitude of Radharani, or a combination of Radha and Krishna. The intention of Lord Chaitanya is to taste Krishna's sweetness and transcendental love. He does not care to think of himself as Krishna because he wants the position of Radharani. We should remember this. A class of so-called devotees called the Nadia Nagaris or Gora Nagaris pretend that they have the sentiment of gopis towards Lord Chaitanya. But they do not realize that he placed himself not as the enjoyer, Krishna, but as the enjoyed, the devotee of Krishna. The concoctions of unauthorized persons pretending to be bona fide have not been accepted by Lord Chaitanya. Presentations such as those of the Gora Nagaris are only disturbances to the sincere execution of the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is undoubtedly Krishna himself, and he is always non-different from Srimati Radharani. But the emotion technically called Vipralamba Bhava, which the Lord adopted for confidential reasons, should not be disturbed in the name of service. A mundaner should not unnecessarily intrude into affairs of transcendence and thereby displease the Lord. One must always be on guard against this sort of devotional anomaly. A devotee is not meant to create disturbances to Krishna. In other words, if you worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the wrong mood, you're creating a disturbance for him. It's a very heavy statement here. As Srila Rupa Goswami has explained, devotional service is anukul yena, or favorable to Krishna. Acting unfavorably toward Krishna is not devotion. Kamsa was the enemy of Krishna. He always thought of Krishna, but he thought of him as an enemy. One should always avoid such unfavorable so-called service. Lord Chaitanya has accepted the role of Radharani, and we should support that position. As Swarup Damodar did in the Gambhira, the room where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri. He always reminded Lord Chaitanya of Radha's feelings of separation as they are described in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Chaitanya appreciated his assistance, but the Gora Nagaris who placed Lord Chaitanya in the position of enjoyer and themselves as his enjoyed are not approved by Lord Chaitanya or Lord Chaitanya's followers. So, instead of being blessed, the foolish imitators are left completely apart. Their concoctions are against the principles of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The doctrine of transcendental enjoyment by Krishna cannot be mixed up. Someone turn that off? With the doctrine of transcendental feelings of separation from Krishna in the role of Srimati Radharani. And so there's further description of conjugal love here. And just to sum it up, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's esoteric purpose, because we have to end right now, is that he appeared to taste conjugal love from the perspective of Srimati Radharani. So he can understand that love. He can understand or see himself from that perspective. And so he could enjoy, because a devotee, in one sense, is enjoying more than the Supreme Lord. He wants to have that enjoyment of devotional service, to serve the Lord. And so that is the esoteric reason for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. So any questions or comments? Yes? Yeah, impediment. Right. I can refer you to the discussion between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Venkatabhata. Venkatabhata was absorbed. It's not simply understanding the Lord's greatness, but he was absorbed because he's from Srirangam and the Ramanuja Sampradaya, where he was absorbed in that, and then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that that was an impediment for him to understand, even why Lakshmi was not able to enter into the rasa dance. because she was absorbed. But to understand is one thing, but to be absorbed in the mood of worshiping the Lord as the Lord, because generally when you are absorbed in that particular way, you see the Lord as your order supplier, is the tendency. And then one becomes so overawed with the greatness that you can't taste the sweetness. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so if you refer to that particular episode of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it'll help us understand. And, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sort of converted Venkatabhata from that understanding. And then, of course, Gopal Bhatta Goswami came from that particular preaching.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Taksham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Adi Purusham.
Namaho Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Putale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Goswami Namande Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Vaja, Visesha Shunyavade Vasachade Sacharane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Nirmagrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Nirmagrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Nirmagrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Nirmagrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Sivasati Nirmagrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Jai. Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Bo, Hare Bo. Nijai Go, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo, Hare Bo. Jaya Jaya, Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Gokinana, Radha Gokinana, Radhe. Hey, Radhe, Radhe, Hey, Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa, Paramitacharya, Abhaya Charanam Bhaktivinoda Goswami. Prabhupada.